Good afternoon and welcome to Cool Springs. Today is Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025, and this is a special one-time podcast talking about honoring people. This week on the secular calendar is a holiday called Grandparents' Day. We have Mother's Day in May and Father's Day in June. Well, in the first week of September, we have Grandparents' Day. And because I live directly across the street from an elementary school, today I noticed, particularly around lunchtime, an awful lot of cars parking on the street directly in front and beside my house because I have a corner lot, and people who certainly look like grandparents getting out of the cars and heading into the school. And then I remembered, oh yes, they're probably doing a special program to celebrate Grandparents' Day, to have the grandparents come and have lunch with the kids at the school. And it's appropriate to honor your father and mother and honor your grandparents. And it's really important that young people get to know the generations that preceded them and to get the wisdom and the love and the guidance that their grandparents and their aunts and uncles and other family members can help pour into these young people to help them become better adults. So yeah, honoring people at Grandparents' Day is something that's beginning to catch on to be a more important holiday than just, hey, you see it on the calendar and you do a Hallmark type of card. It's important to start really celebrating and providing opportunities for generations to meet up with each other and to celebrate the love and the family connection and pass on the wisdom. And because today is September the 10th, tomorrow will be the annual anniversary of the September 11th attacks on our nation, when we lost nearly 3,000 people in our country, either on the airplanes that crashed into the World Trade Center buildings and into the Pentagon and into the field in Pennsylvania to avoid hitting the White House or the Capitol building. And it's important to honor those first responders who rushed into harm's way. That's why we have our memory candle, our Yahrzeit candle, lit right now. Those people who responded to the alarm of planes are flying into the buildings, there are hurt people, we need to go and try and rescue them. And the rescuers themselves, many of them becoming victims of when the towers collapsed, or years later developing cancers from breathing in some of the toxic chemicals that were in the debris fields as the buildings collapsed. It's important to remember and honor people who care for others, people who respond to tragedies, whether it's firemen, policemen, paramedics, anybody, soldiers, anybody that's in a service to the nation type of position, that they're willing to put themselves at risk to at least make an effort to save other people. So we are remembering those folks. Next year will be the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. And a lot of times people remember those significant first years, 10 years, 20, 25, 50 years of things that you want to celebrate, weddings and high school reunions, those sorts of things, and things that you just need to remember because it was a day of tragedy, a day of national importance. Well, next year is going to be the 25th anniversary of 9/11. It's also going to be the 250th anniversary of the birth of our nation. And so plans are underway right now to celebrate our nation's 250th milestone birthday in July of 2026. And there are some plans already in place and beginning to be developed even now for what to do to acknowledge the 25th anniversary of a tragic event in our nation, but one that also revealed a lot of people behaving heroically, being willing to sacrifice themselves so that others could have a chance to live. I do volunteer work out on Fort Rucker, which is near where we are here in Enterprise. And last year, the firemen on the post did a stair climb in the building where I volunteer at. It's a 3-story building, and there's a lot of traffic in that building. And so the firemen did a memorial stair climb where they put on all their fireman type gear, and they climbed up the steps, then came down another way, then climbed back up to basically reenact what it was like for the ones who went into the towers, who made it up to the 110th floor trying to rescue people before the buildings collapsed, and both the rescuers and the ones they were trying to rescue perished in the collapse of the building. Last year when it happened to be a day when I was doing my volunteer work. I'm not out there every day. I'm out there a couple of days a week. And it was very, very touching because the office where I work is right by the staircase that they were climbing. And so I could hear it, and I took a few minutes to step away from the desk and go outside and watch them go up the stairs and come down another way and then go back up again. And there were a lot of people watching and observing, and a few people started to climb along at least part of the way, just to kind of remind themselves that there are people out there who train, who learn how to work with heavy equipment, because a fireman's outfit, particularly when they put those oxygen tanks on the back, is like 60 pounds worth of gear. And they have to be in physical shape to be able to try to climb great heights and carry people out of burning buildings and just do all kinds of very, very difficult tasks that they have to train for. There are people who are willing to take the time to do the training, to get themselves into physical shape and maintain their physical prowess, to be able to continue to do the dirty work, the difficult jobs, the traumatic types of work where you're having to help people who are severely injured, take care of a deceased body, go and let the next of kin know that they've experienced the loss of a loved one. And so it's appropriate for us to take a moment to honor people who serve in our lives as the quiet heroes, the parents and the grandparents and the teachers and the coaches and the other kinds of mentors who invest in other people's lives, who maybe sacrifice not just their time, but their resources to see to it that somebody else is taken care of. And it's important to remember and acknowledge those heroes and heroines who are doing the difficult jobs and putting in the long hours and looking for ways to serve the community and to take care of needs. It's important for us to be thankful for all those who serve us, for those who take care of us, for those who are willing to put themselves in harm's way. What they're really doing is they're imitating Christ's commandment to his people that you don't have any greater love than this, that you're willing to lay down your life for a friend. That's how we show God's love to other people, by doing whatever it is to help them. It may be that they need to know about God and about salvation. They may need spiritual guidance. They may need physical assistance of some kind of way. You look for ways to be a representative of Jesus in the world. Not everybody can tote the gear and pass the test to go be a fireman or go be a police officer or go serve in the military and put themselves in harm's way. But everybody can be a witness for Christ, and you can look for ways to help nurture the next generation and to point people towards Christ and to do good in the world because of the love that you have for Christ, that you're sharing Christ's love with other people. So today we honor the grandparents and the parents and the coaches and the mentors and the teachers and those who invest their lives in younger people. And we honor those who put themselves at risk to take care of the needs of our nation for security, for safety, for rescue from harm's way. Thanks for watching.